In this video, I'm going to show you how to break down your pre-trip inspection to help you ace the test the first time. So when it comes to deciding your inspection, it's all about rhythm. First one, PMS, properly mind secured. Everything is properly mind secured for the most part. But if you do say properly mind secure on everything, it won't penalize you. The only thing that will penalize you on the test is if you miss the important key things that actually come with the pieces that you are currently expected. So, the next one is ABCs. No abrasions, bulges, or cuts. That comes with any type of line holes or any type of electrical wiring. The last acronym is CBD, not cracked, bent, or broken. So any solid material is always going to be not cracked, bent, or broken. So the pre-trip inspection that we'll be doing in this video is the engine compartment. So what you need to do and what can help you when it comes to reciting your inspection is bringing your examiner around as if they're the student. If you could explain to them as if they're the student, you get them comfortable and you'll be comfortable with your own flow. So the first part of the inspection, you're going to bring your examiner to the front of it. And what you're going to tell them is, Mr. or Mrs. Examiner, first we're going to go ahead and start the front of the truck by compartment examination. I'm going to look underneath the tractor to make sure there's no leaks. And I'm looking at the tractor to make sure it's not shifting in any direction. Then you bring them over to the passenger side. All right. Then you're going to be like, all right, Mr. and Mrs. Examiner. Now we're going to go to the passenger side door. We have the passenger side general hoses. They are properly mind secure at both ends. No abrasion, bulges, or cuts. And it's not leaking any air or fluid. Next, I'm going to bring it to the driver's side. Now we're on the driver's side where we have the general hoses. They are properly mind secured at both ends. No abrasion, bulges, or cuts. And it's not leaking any air or fluid. All right, next, we're going to talk about the coolant level. All right. It's properly mind secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. There are no leaks, and it's filled to the manufacturer specification. Next, I'm going to bring you over here to the engine oil. It is filled to the manufacturer specification, and it is usually checked with a dipstick. You can pull it out if you want. If you don't want to pull out, you won't be penalized. You just got to point to it, show them that you know where it's at, and say the correct verbiage. Next, I'm going to bring you down to the power steering fluid. It is properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, and it's filled to the manufacturer specification with no leaks. Next, we're going to talk about the steering gear box and hoses. These are the hoses. You got the black hose right there. You got the blue hose right there. It is properly mind secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. There's no abrasion, bulges, or cuts, and it's not leaking. Next, we're going to talk about the steering linkage. All right. First, I'm going to show you the three parts. We have the pitment arm, the drag link, and the tie rod. Okay. There are 3 cotter pins. We have one right here, one right here, and there's one back here. Just to give you the closer look, this is where it's at. If you're ever wondering, the third cotter pin is right there. It is properly mind secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and there are no missing bolts or cotter pins. Next, we're going to talk about the spring hanger and mounts from both front to rear. It is properly mind secure and not cracked, bent, or broken. Next, I'm going to show you the leaf springs. It is properly mind secure at both ends, not cracked, bent, or broken, and none are shifted. Then you go directly to the U-bolts. These U-bolts, they are properly mind secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, and there are no bolts missing. Next, you go over here to the shock absorber. This thing right here. The shock absorber is properly mind secure at both ends. It's not cracked, bent, or broken, and there are no leaking. Okay? So the reason why we say not leaking is because it's lubricated inside. Because of course, when you hit the bumps, this squeezes up and releases to relieve some pressure on the truck. So you got to make sure there's no leaking. Because if there's leakage, then that's a DOT violation. So I'll do it one more time. So we got the shock absorber. It's probably more secure at both ends. Not cracked, bent, and broken. And there's not leaking. All right. Immediately after that, you're going to go to the brake line. All right. It's properly mounted secure at both ends. Okay. No abrasion, bulges, or cuts. And it's not leaking any air. Okay. Because the brake lines in the tractor is filled with air. Okay. So your examiner is going to be looking for that. They're going to be looking for you to say air. So I'll do one more time. We got the brake line. It's properly mounted secured at both ends. No abrasion, bulges, or cuts. And it's not leaking any air. Good? All right. Next, we're going to talk about the brake contaminants. Okay? So here, I'll be checking for the oil, grease, and other contaminants along the brake pads and the brake linings. Okay? And you just let them know there are no oil, grease, or other contaminants along the brake pads or the brake lines. All right, next we're going to talk about the steer tire. So there are no abrasion, bulges, or cuts from the tread to the sidewalk. The tread depth is no less than 4/32 of an inch, and it is checked with a tire depth gauge. It's properly filled to the manufacturer's specification, and it's checked with an air gauge. The valve stem, which is right here, is not cracked, broken, and the cap is on tight. Next, we're going to talk about the rim. The rim is properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. There are no unauthorized welds and no lug nuts out around. Okay? Next, we're going to go to the lug nuts. It's properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. No shoddy studs or powder residue, and there's no cracks around the bolt holes. And that, Mr. and Mrs. Examiner, concludes my engine compartment pre-trip test. Once you do that, you ace it. So as many times as you like, you can go ahead and grab this video, go with your notes, practice it down, repetition is key, and I'll see you on the next part.